but no one will believe me. Have you ever had that thought? I think all of us have, and I think we start having it when we're younger. I think maybe when we're teenagers, we start getting this awareness of who we are, who we want to become, and then we're trying to tell our parents. They don't believe us, and we're trying to get other people to believe us, and we go through that most of our life. And then what we start doing is that when something is in front of us that we're meant to do, we don't believe ourselves because that's what really goes on. We're trying to get other people to believe us, but it is just us. We all have self doubt. And when we move past the self doubt, then we start to live the lives that we are meant to have. Because I know that every single person is born to do that. But I'm talking about this today and using that title because it is a message that I received on this date a year ago. And the thing that I thought, well, no one's going to believe this because, see, I've received precognitive information. I've received every kind of all the information about what's happening in our world now, which is why I've been speaking about it so much. And we're seeing a whole bunch of things going on, and people are afraid. I'm going, well, no, it doesn't have to be that way. All we have to do is become happy. All we have to do is start loving ourselves and move through all of our old stuff. Everyone won't do that. And then we kind of end up with the world that we have because we all create it. It's just about how happy are we going to decide we want to become and how much are we willing to let go of the old stuff because we're moving into a new dimension. We're moving into a different world. And the way that it turns out depends on what each of us chooses to do in our lives, meaning owning who we are because we evolve in dimensions of our consciousness, and you know of this. When we go to coaches, when we go to mentors, we're just trying to get their information because obviously they've been through something and they understand something or they've developed something so they could give it to us. But still, we don't believe that either. And that's what goes on because we have this cognitive dissonance that says, if I haven't done this before, I probably can't. And that's why no one believes us because it's new. We're always moving into some unknown. But let me show you the message because it came through on this date, like I said, a year ago. But the most important thing is there's a video there that I would love for you to listen to because that video was referred to in this particular message. And I just found it a couple of days ago and I put it up on the site. It's on the message. You can find it on Any Advice for Today or on my channel, my YouTube channel. And it's called Now You Can Change Your Life in the World because we all do it. We all change everything energetically. Everything is energy. And we come to know that in very different ways. Well, I happen to live it. So I do understand it. But let me show you the message. And it will probably make a lot more sense today than it would have a year ago, which again is how I receive things. Okay, no one will believe me. That statement is the one that has held you back most of your life and might continue to do so unless you decide to change. You came into the world to authentically offer your essence or who you are, but you have doubted the importance of who you might become. But you also decided to live at a time in your world when your decision to believe in yourself is the most important one you can make today. None of you could have known you were moving into new dimensions of yourself and your world. Still, some, like Roger, do know, but have also feared that others would not believe they had information to help others move through this time of planetary ascension. You typically take a while before you accept the innate gifts you were given, which is why we structured our work to guide you to self-acceptance gently. After our live conversation the other day, Roger knew that he should believe in himself now and that we did provide help through this period that would aid all. And last night, we told him to change. Then he glanced ahead at the message we gave you in 2012 for this date and was surprised by it and thought it would be fun to talk about it last night. But then he did the same thing most of you do, to decide no one will believe you. This restructuring requires you to believe in yourselves, and the following message should help today. You learn to resist change when you are born onto the physical plane. You begin to equate stability with safety. This is a necessary process, for at this point, you have yet to learn your way around the world, so to speak. The irony of this situation is that your intention when you decided to live a physical life experience was always to embrace change, for it is the only way you might expand and evolve, which was your original goal. Now, in your more mature life, it becomes crucial for you to recognize this dilemma and begin making conscious choices to embrace change so that you might further that expansion. When you embrace change, you acknowledge and accept your safety in the physical world. And so, yeah, that last part of it came in through in 2012. And as I said, all of the information that I gathered that comprises my work, well, it's been 35 years, but the bulk of it is from 2012, and that doesn't make sense. That's why people don't believe it. We have different changes in our civilization over time, and certain people will access this information, be able to interpret it and give it back to others. And I've referred to Carl Jung before because I relate to him so much. I never studied him until recently, because all of the stuff, and you'll hear this in the video as well, I received everything intuitively. It's how I transformed my life. I healed my life. I can talk about it all day long, but that doesn't get others to believe me. It just doesn't happen. I wrote a book, Overcoming Fear, A Guide to Freedom, in 2019. And I talked about all the things that I had moved through and that healings and things that just didn't make sense. The mind-body connection, all that came from this work. And then I told you in 2011 and 2021, I said, I have this work that's going to change your life. And it's so inexpensive and anyone can do it. And if you do it, you'll make your life great. And then you'll contribute to the world and we'll start changing things. And people looked at me and said, no, you can't do that. Even though they're hearing the results of it, they're hearing people who have done this work, forgetting about me. I mean, because I could tell you all day, I wrote it all in the book about the things that this work has done for me. But to get others to believe that, they have to wait till the house is burning down, which is what's happening in our world if we don't start to understand. So the funny thing is, I got up this morning and I saw a little bit on the news that something was happening in Texas here in the US. You'll hear in the video how the United States was going to have this chaos, and we're seeing it right now. We're moving through it. Again, it's about energy, and we're going to either choose fear or love. When we choose fear, we're not loving ourselves. When we choose love, we are accepting our authentic selves, and that's the energy that will change our world. But you will listen to this, and I thought, well, what's happening in Texas today? Exactly what Wilhelm said a year ago was that women were going to become really important in this change because we needed more of the feminine energy, the divine feminine, to come into the world because men just keep killing everyone. But if we bring in women, we have something a little bit different. So today I saw, well, what is that about? So, oh, a woman might die if she doesn't get an abortion, but a man said, no, you can't have that. That's control. And when you listen to the video, you'll hear more of that. We each will have to make these decisions for ourselves. That's your autonomy. That's who you're meant to become. And so, but this change in our world is going to cause you to make that change. The world is going to continue to change. We will decide if we're going to resist the changes that come up within us, and if we're going to move to that higher dimension of understanding our importance and love ourselves. That's going to be an individual choice. No one will change it and make it for you. And you will, and you see, let me just say this, you're going to come up with people who are never going to believe you. We're coming into a different world and things are going to split apart. So you're going to have to love and believe yourself. And it may be people who are close to you, even your family. I've moved through all of that, so I do understand. But there's this time where you're going to have to say, I love who I am. I'm going to live my life and I'm going to produce something of great value. So I don't have much time. I have a lot of time actually, but I'm just saying that I'm 73 years old. I can't keep trying to convince people to do this. I never sell anybody into this work because it doesn't work unless you want to become your best self. It doesn't work. If you're going to have to, if I have to sell you and all of that, then you're not going to do this. I've seen that too much. And that puts an energy into the collective that's not helpful when you become unwilling to change and discover how great you are. That's really what this work is about. But enjoy this. And also, I'm having a channeling session on Tuesday for the new moon because that's going to unlock everything. A lot of things are going to change in the world. We just need to be conscious. We need to just become aware. That's all. So I'd love for you to come, and please I'll leave the link in this description of the video. You can go to my website, rogerburnley.com, and register, because it will be a great one. And everybody who registers will receive the replay, whether you're there or not. But you can ask questions if you're there. And you'll see all of this. I'll leave all of this in the description. And again, if you are new here, please subscribe. My team keeps telling me I never say that. Please subscribe to the video and share it with others, because I want to get this word out to so many other people, because we got to start loving ourselves. Otherwise, we're going to burn down the world. That's what could happen. But the choice you have is to become happy and love who you are, or keep moving through resistance and doubt and grief, which it might come up. All right. See you guys soon.